Hey everybody, welcome back to the David Guttman podcast, CryoCon 2025 edition. Really interesting guest here, Steve Toole, from CEO of Toole and Associates, right?
Yep.
Do I have that right? And you're doing some really, really cool things on the review marketing side of things. So maybe talk a little bit about what you're doing there, because I can't imagine there's any customers out there. I mean, I ran a Forex prop trading firm, and man, Trustpilot, we lived and died by our Trustpilot score. So I can only imagine what it must be for folks in this industry.
Yep. So great to be here, David. Thanks very much for having me. So we specialize in online reviews marketing, as you put it, which is really the most important component of your entire marketing stack for any local business. Because all of your other marketing is we, me, us, right? It's all I, me, my, as George Harrison would say. It's what you say about yourself. Your reviews are what your customers say about you. So if you can imagine a scale, on the left side is all of your other marketing, your digital, your social media, your website, your SEO, your email marketing, everything else you're doing. And on this side is the voice of your customer, your online reviews. Your online reviews will always have more weight than everything else you're saying. Most business owners just hope they get better reviews. Some business owners even try to bribe their customers to write reviews. We can talk about this later, but that's actually against the law.
I remember back at Trustpilot, that if they found out that you gave them a discount or something for the review, that they would ban your account.
100%, David. It's not only against the law, but sites like Trustpilot, Google, and Yelp will actually ban you from their sites as well. And everybody says, well, I didn't know that, right? Well, that's because you had the marketing person come up with this brilliant idea and you never bothered to look to see, is this legal? Is it ethical? Is this viable? As a matter of fact, Yelp actually now has a wall of shame for businesses that have been reported as bribing their customers and clients for reviews. But the Federal Trade Commission just came out with new legislation recently that now makes it a $50,000 fine to the business when caught and reported bribing for reviews. And it doesn't have to be a big bribe. It could even be just a raffle ticket or a bingo card or a discount off of your next purchase. It's against the law. And so my company is designed to get our clients reviews without having to break the law, without having to violate all of these review sites' policies. We have a seamless integration with our clients' customer databases that messages their customers after an experience with that business, whether it be going to a wellness center or a fitness studio or getting your HVAC serviced or eating at a restaurant. We even have vape shops using our service. Whatever your local business is, we can get you the reviews that you truly deserve without having to bribe and risk violating any kind of legislation.
And is it only limited to location-specific businesses, or what about online businesses that also live and die by reviews?
Yeah, well, a lot of online businesses will have Amazon presence and whatnot, and Amazon makes it very difficult for businesses to proactively solicit reviews. Only Amazon can ask for reviews for Amazon purchases. You really can't do that yourself because it has to be tied to the person who made the purchase. But yes, for the most part, it is local businesses. The thing that a lot of business owners don't understand about how reviews work is they actually drive search engine optimization results, okay? So not only are reviews more influential than advertising, Inc. magazine said that 96% of people don't trust ads. Conversely, 88% of people think that reviews are as good as personal recommendations.
Right.
So reviews are more effective than advertising. They're almost as good as personal recommendations. Reviews posted on social media are 2.5 times more credible than marketing content posted on social media. And reviews actually drive your results in search engines, but not necessarily with Trustpilot, because Trustpilot doesn't often come up in search results. Google reviews, Yelp reviews, Facebook reviews, TripAdvisor reviews, those are going to drive your results in search engines. And a lot of business owners don't realize that Google reviews are only on Google. Okay? And so they say, hey, use this QR code, go do a Google review for us. That's great, you're going to get Google reviews, but that's not going to help you on any other search engine, like Yahoo Search, Microsoft Bing, DuckDuckGo, Microsoft Bing, I may have mentioned that, or on Yelp itself. And so you're missing out on all this.
Yelp a couple times, but they might have a wall of shame, but they did a few things. Some of their business practices were a little bit
So that's a common misperception. I have clients that say they hate Yelp, and I say my job is to help you hate Yelp a little bit less, okay? And quite honestly, in Yelp's defense, they're no different than Google They're an online directory, okay, a search engine. Yelp is a search engine of businesses. Google is a search engine of all internet content. They both have free content and content that you can pay for, okay? You can hope you show up high in search results on Google and Yelp, or you can pay to be at the top. What's the difference, okay?
Well, I think in Yelp's case, weren't they accused of like, hey, if you don't pay for this premium service, I'm gonna ding you. And
That's a big misperception, okay? And we have studied it many, many times, my staff, my analysts, and it's completely false, okay? What Yelp, they have sales reps. This is the one difference between Yelp and Google, is that Yelp will actually call you and try to sell you advertising, and that doesn't come off very well to a lot of business owners. They're busy, they don't want to be pressured, they don't want to be cold called. Google doesn't cold call people, they don't have to, okay? But Yelp does. Yelp's a public company just like Google. They have shareholders, they have to make profits. Yelp, if they didn't have to call people, they wouldn't, but they do, they call people. And they want you to think that you're gonna get more reviews if you advertise on Yelp. And they're not wrong, but not for the reason that people think. It's not pay to play. Oh, you want more reviews? Pay to advertise, and then we'll get you more reviews. It's kind of like fish where the fish are biting. Right. If you advertise in, let's say, a Latin newspaper, you're going to get more Latin customers, right? If you advertise on Yelp, you're going to get more Yelp users. Well, where do Yelp users leave reviews? On Yelp. Yeah. And so that's sort of the relationship, the correlation between advertising on Yelp and getting reviews. You're not getting reviews because you advertised on Yelp and you are entitled to that. Just the same as if you don't advertise on Yelp, you're not going to get Yelp reviews. It's because the more you advertise in a place, the more of those users are going to naturally convert to customers. Right. And where do you think they're going to write their reviews?
Well, so talk a little bit maybe about, what is the secret sauce of how you guys operate, right? And I'm not talking about your intellectual property, but I mean just sort of like, how does it work? How does it tie in my CRM? Is all the stuff, is it customized, or, maybe if you walk us through that a little bit.
We've built a proprietary platform that is zero touch for our clients. So if you own a business and you're struggling to get reviews, and you've tried QR codes, and you've tried incentives, and you know those are illegal, and you've tried having your staff chase people down and nag your customers for reviews, we take all that hassle and headache away from you. It's zero touch for you as the business owner. We connect to your CRM, and our platform it's persistent. Somebody comes in, we follow up with them immediately with a text and an email. Said, hey, we hope you had a great experience. We'd love for you to share what you liked. Here's a button if you use Google, a button if you use Yelp, a button if you use Facebook. A lot of people don't realize that your customers can't do a Google review if they don't have a Google login. So if they use Yahoo or Hotmail or something else, they're going to Yahoo and Hotmail to get their mail. They're not logging into Google. 62% of the US does not use Gmail, which means they're not logging into Google. So if you're only giving them Google links, a lot of your customers won't be able to do a Google review. So it's zero touch for the customer, for our client, one click for their customer to leave the review wherever they have an active account and valid and are able to leave a review. And then we do everything else. We respond to the reviews for our clients because they don't have time to. They're busy running a business. We do everything we can to get negative reviews deleted from public review sites. We're very good at it. We share their best reviews on their website and on their social media so they get the most mileage out of it. So it's that's what we call it, a life cycle review service. We don't just get reviews on Google. We get reviews on several major review platforms and manage every aspect of those reviews along the way.
And what's your business model, your pricing model? How does it work? What does it cost a spa, cryotherapy location for your services?
Well, we don't publish our pricing. That's something that we get into in a live conversation with a business owner. It's not like we're trying to be dodgy. We just want the opportunity to lay out the value to the business owner directly. We also do a competitive analysis on that call where we're going to say, hey, here's what people see when they search in your market for what you do. And here's why you're not showing up as highly on all of these search engines, right? So we put that out in front of them and we say, it's okay, we're here to help. This is what we do. And this is the process. These are the results that we've gotten for businesses like yours. Are you interested? Yes, great. Then here's our pricing for you. It's we do 12-month agreements because it takes time. We can get results starting right away. We started a new business yesterday. They've been around for 10 years. It's a dermatology practice in Washington, D.C. In the first 24 hours, we raised their star rating by a whole 1/10 of a star. They've been around for 10 years. And by the way, their star rating is 3 stars. We've already started moving the needle from 3 to 3.1 in just 24 hours, okay? And so that's the value. And once they start to see it, they go, oh, okay, I see how this works. You know, this is great. It does work as he explained it. And that's what we talk about on the call.
Well, so what about, and I only know this from, my own experience at businesses that I've run, where we've occasionally had situations where, especially in this forex prop trading business, where there are a lot of haters and a lot of people are literally attacking their competitors, so they'll literally post negative reviews. And we had situations where we couldn't get a negative review taken down no matter what we did. Yep. I mean, again, without giving away the secret sauce, maybe like, why are you guys able to get a negative review taken down and me as a business owner couldn't?
Well, it's just like if you get a speeding ticket, like you can go try to defend that speeding ticket yourself, or you can hire a lawyer that's all they do all day long is represent their clients in traffic court, right? I got a speeding ticket a couple of years ago, and I hired a lawyer, and he was able to do some things that got me out of it. Nothing shady, nothing illegal, but he knew exactly what to do. He said, hey, you can take this 8-hour safe driving class and I can present that to the judge. There's a good chance I know the judge, I know the officer that pulled you over, that we might be able to get you off this. So I did the class, and he said, do you want to attend the trial? I said, do I have to? He said, no. I said, well, then no. And sure enough, he got me out of it. So the point is, this is what we do. So we know what to look for, we know what buttons to push and strings to pull that you might not know, because this is what we do all day long. And so there's no service that can guarantee that they can get every negative review removed for any business. That's not the reality of it. Just like there's no lawyer that can get every person out of every speeding ticket. But that doesn't mean there aren't some that are really good at it, okay, that aren't really good at it. And so that's what we do.
Well, so how did you end up in this business?
Yeah, so I'm a career marketer. I was a chief marketing officer for 26 years in the areas of data security, data privacy, data analytics, and local franchise marketing for Nutrisystem weight loss centers. I worked for ad agencies. I'm a former professor of marketing at George Mason University, and I have 3 degrees in marketing and advertising. I went out on my own 8 years ago, started Toole and Associates as an outsourced marketing firm. And we did everything. We did websites, content, collateral, videos, testimonials, you name it. And I quickly realized that we needed to get better focus. Now, as a former chief marketing officer in tech startups, we always had to create case studies to prove that our little tech startup was better than the behemoth that we were competing against. We called them case studies, proof of concept, right? Because we were in there competing against giant software companies like Symantec and IBM and companies like that. So it was my job as chief marketing officer to create proof. So case studies and testimonials were always central to my marketing strategy as chief marketing officer. And I started to realize that every local business owner needs that too, but in short form, tweet size, like what a review is. And a funny story, I kind of had an aha moment. I used to take my family to this barbecue place in Northern Virginia. I really liked it. It was called Red Hot and Blue because it was a blues theme, and the kids could get chicken nuggets and fries, and I could get a beer and a barbecue sandwich, and they had all these guitars on the wall and everything. I loved it. It was great. It was like a grown-up Chuck E. Cheese, right? Okay. And the one that we went to went out of business. And I said to my wife, well, there's got to be a better barbecue place around here somewhere. And I looked up on Yelp, and all of them had terrible reviews, including our favorite place. And I'm like, what? We love it there. How can it have such a bad star rating? It was like a 2.5 Yelp star rating. And then that was kind of an aha moment. It's like, you know what? Businesses like this need reviews that they truly deserve, because here, your online reputation is very similar to the human anatomy. Time is no friend of the human anatomy without effort, without maintenance, okay? Same thing with your car. And your online reviews, just left to a whim, are only going to go down. Everybody starts with a 5-star rating. I had a 6th grade math teacher, and the first day of 6th grade, he said, "Congratulations, you all have A's." This was a World War II veteran. That's how old I am. "Congratulations, you all have A's. It's up to you to keep them."
Right.
And that stuck with me all these years. And it's true of businesses. They all start out, their first review is a 5-star, and they have a 5-star rating. That's great.
Because it's their mom that left the review.
Yeah, exactly. And they get a few, and then all of a sudden, boop, they get a negative review. Goes down a notch to 4.9. And then they get a few more 5 stars, and then a 1 star, boom, goes down to 4.8. I talked to a business owner the other day. They have a 4.3. I said, "Where'd you start out?" They said, 5. I said, "What happened?" They said, "Well, then we got a few, we got a name." I said, "Well, you're at 4.3 now.
Right.
Where do you think it's going next?" I'll give you a hint. It's not going back up to 4.4. Right. Reviews, star ratings don't just go up because you got better. You can't better your way out of a declining star rating. The only way to go from 4.3 to halfway between 4.3 and 5, which is 4.6, is to double the number of reviews that you have currently with all 5-star reviews. Well, what's the likelihood of that? Because all the reviews you've gotten so far only average 4.3. Well, what do you think is going to change, right? So you have to take proactive control of it, and that's what we do. And we see our clients' star ratings going up every single day.
So one last question for you, and then I want to have you tell people where they can find you. But one last question is, like when I go on Amazon, and I know you weren't talking about Amazon, I never even read the 1-star reviews or the 5-star reviews. I read the 4-star reviews, sometimes the 3-star reviews, because I always assume the 5-star reviews and the 1-star reviews. 5-star reviews are bullshit, and the 1-star people are miserable people that rate everything a 1 star. That's not entirely true, but you understand what I'm saying. How do you think about that in terms of helping to guide some of your clients? Because I'm imagining it's not, is there anything in your process that helps guide the kind of review someone leaves? Not just that it's 5-star or high stars, but also that they're detailed, in the fact that they're leaving. Because I read this like, loved it. Okay, not helpful. Hey, the atmosphere was great. The owner was amazing and came by. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a review that I...
Yeah, it's a good question. So unfortunately, you have to let people be as eloquent or as brief as they care to be. And at the end of the day, even on Google, you don't even need to leave a review. You can just leave a star rating and no comment at all. On Yelp requires you to have a certain minimum number of word count before they'll allow you to leave a review. We've seen reviews that are 5 paragraphs long, both positive and negative. And we've seen the very, very brief ones, 2 words. You really just have to let people say as much or as little as they want, unfortunately. But yeah, people consume reviews different ways. 67% of all purchase decisions reference online reviews before making that decision. I tell clients the only people reading your reviews are potential customers that have not yet decided yes or no. It's like that Clash song from the 80s, should I stay or should I go? That's what they're thinking when they're reading your reviews. Whatever got me to your reviews got me here, but your reviews are the 1-yard line, okay? Going all the way down the field, the 1-yard line. Am I going to get that customer across the goal line, or is the defensive tackle going to keep them from converting? And everyone that says no to you says yes to your competitors. Yeah. Right? They don't say, well, I guess I just can't get my roof done because these guys have a lousy star rating. They say, who's next? Right. Who's next? And 62% of people pick the business with the most reviews over the business with the highest star rating. Right. So it's a numbers game. Reviews drive search engine results. Right. The volume creates a competitive differentiation. Reviews are the only quantifiable differentiation that businesses have. And I want to mention one more thing, and that is that if you read the news and you follow what's going on with Google right now, right. Go to your search engine right now and search for Google Department of Justice. And go to the news section. Tell me what you see. The Department of Justice is in the process right now of breaking Google apart for antitrust reasons. One of the things that they're suggesting that Google do, or trying to get Google to do, is to sell off their Chrome web browser. Well, what's the default search engine on Chrome? Google. Well, if Google sells Chrome to another company completely, that other company can decide what what search engine will be the default on that browser under that new ownership. So businesses that are only asking for Google reviews right now are in for a rude awakening when that other shoe drops in the next year or so, and they go, oh my gosh, our Google reviews aren't showing up anymore. Well, that's because Google doesn't own Chrome anymore. So smart business owners right now are adopting a multi-platform review strategy. You mentioned Trustpilot. I mean, that's one of them. The thing with Trustpilot is that Trustpilot, they don't really show up as often in search results. They're good for your website, but by the time somebody gets to your website, they've already found you. Yeah. Reviews on third-party search review sites like Google, Yelp, Facebook, TripAdvisor, etc., actually can get you found in search results. Right. And TripAdvisor doesn't show up as often in search results.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me, Trustpilot, not TripAdvisor.
So Steven, clearly a wealth of knowledge. I can definitely see why people would find this useful. Where can they find you?
So the best way to get to us is you can go to tooleassociates.com. That's Toole, associates with an S.com. Or the shortcut URL is bit.ly/gettool. bit.ly/gettool. Schedule a meeting with me, the founder and the CEO, and we'll take you through it and love to get you on board.
Cool. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, David.
Appreciate it.